Welcome into another edition of The Rundown. Brandon Worth, Jack Heckman here with you, breaking down the fall CSAA sports recap here on the episode. We're talking football, volleyball, soccer, golf, as well as cross country and tennis to conclude the fall slate. Jack, it's finally official. The snow's on the ground, so unfortunately, we just got to move on.
Yeah, we do. It was a great fall season, though. Excited for this winter season.
Absolutely. We'll talk about the conference results for all of our CSAA divisions and teams, as well as all conference honorees from this past season. And then next week, we will get into some of our fall previews, including boys and girls basketball. Should be great. Before we get into our full fall recap, big thanks goes out to Eagle Village and their support of this show. If you want to make an impact on the lives of youth, find out where you can apply to make a difference in a child's life at eaglevillage.org. Eagle Village, where potential soars. Also, big thanks goes out to Denny's Muffler and Brakes in Big Rapids. It's that time of year, folks. Make sure your car is in tune to handle Mother Nature and the slippery roads. You can schedule an appointment, call them today, and visit them in Big Rapids. Denny's Muffler and Brakes, a proud supporter of the Rundown. Let's talk about football here, Jack, and we'll start on the CSAA-Red side of things. And it was certainly another year for Coach Zeltzer's crew. He knew he had the talent, he knew he had the skill, and they were able to execute undefeated conference season, finish at the top spot. Reed City runner-up in that second place spot with a lone loss to the Cardinals in that rivalry game at Cardinal Stadium. Then you had Tri-County finishing up there in third as the top three spots. Very competitive overall year. Certainly seen like a little bit of a war attrition at times, especially for teams like Chip Hills and Grant throughout the year. But overall, a wild ride, and Big Rapids just too talented and got the job done here this year.
Exactly. It was quite the wild ride. Some of these teams really came out and dominated every week, and then we had some funky games where some teams just looked very bright at the beginning of the season and kind of fell off towards the end. And Newaygo, one of those teams who had some very high expectations coming into the season and just failure to get to those expectations. But a team like Reed City, who was sitting maybe around that three spot, really exceeded expectations and surprised me this season.
Absolutely. We'll take a look at the all-conference teams here from this past season. A lot of Big Rapids names, Jack, a lot of Reed City names overall, but great to see guys like Vaughn Veltman, as well as some really talented players as well. You look especially Easton Swanson, a good season for Grant. Some of those guys certainly played a very, very good season, so it's glad to see them get all-conference honors.
Yeah, 100%. Great to see them respected. This is a conference that has talent, has some guys who can really play football, and it's great to see them in that spotlight this week.
Absolutely. Looking at the honorable mentions, there are six of them. Jonathan Lazinski for Big Rapids. Some would say should have been a first-teamer. Certainly proved that he's an all-conference player. Jason MacArthur of Chippewa Hills, very, very similar argument as well in his junior season. Damone Moore, very talented senior tailback. Would have loved to see him one more year in a Lions uniform. I'm sure the Lion fan base would agree. Cohen Olbanoff in his junior season. Very excited senior season upcoming for that young man. Wilson Sixberry, the junior, we got to talk with on the show early on, is an honorable mention. And Matthew Vanderhoof of Reed City. Those your six honorable mentions for CSAA-Red football. We'll flip over into CSAA-White football, and it was a very, very entertaining season. Obviously, Jack, we highlighted in the summer preview episodes, we knew it was probably going to be a two-horse race between the Eagles and the Hornets. It certainly was, but Kent City, just an outstanding program record year for how they did in the postseason, and another conference sweep and another conference title in the White division.
Couldn't agree with you more. This was an exciting team to watch all season long. Really, this whole conference combining the white and the red, a historic season. It was great to cover these teams. It was exciting from week to week. Score watching in the studio, seeing, wow, Kent City's, they're up on some teams you don't expect, and them to go 9-0 and go on that playoff run. Man, that was an exciting Eagles team to watch this season.
Absolutely superb indeed. And Morley Stanwood as well. First season for Coach Chapman, and they make the postseason despite having a 3-6 overall record. Very impressive stuff. Looking at the all CSAA White first team, and I think, Jack, overall, Morley Stanwood made a lot of noise. I know we just talked about it as well. Lakeview and Wyatt Cloud as well. Despite not having some of the wins in the column, they had some very, very good players this season.
I agree with you there, and we talked about it with the CSAA-Red. This is another conference that has the talent. You talked about Andre Mead going to GVSU. You're going to class on a Friday, and you got Andre Mead that next night. It was definitely a star-studded team Kent City had. That's really what this conference is all about. They had some athletes, and it's great to see them highlighted as well.
Absolutely. Looking at the honorable mentions, Kai Kamino of Kent City wearing 21 this season. The junior is an honorable mention. Cade Colby as well in the trenches for the Hornets. Luke Large for Lakeview. You can guess what position he plays up front, offense, defensive line. Jackson Ramsey of Morley Stanwood and number 75 for the Mohawks in his junior season draws first team honors, as well as Logan Stamp for the Indians, a defensive back in his 11th grade junior season there for the CSAA White in football. Let's flip gears now, shall we, over to boys soccer. This was a very entertaining season. We saw Kent City winning the regular season crown. Jack, we mentioned that was a team we were certainly going to watch, but Grant takes down the tournament title thanks to Big Rapids in what was a crazy run. They finished number 5 in the conference, but they get the runner-up spot in the tournament. They got hot at the right time. Grant Tri-County as well, very good seasons with 3 and 4 wins respectively in conference play, as well as we saw Lakeview was scrappy at the beginning of the year, went through a little bit of a stretch. Reed City still looking for some improvement, but overall, this was one of the most anticipated conference seasons, and it certainly was an entertaining one for the amount of ties and the amount of splits that we saw this year.
Yeah, you hit it right on the head. This is a very scrappy conference. You talk about Big Rapids getting all the way, knocking off Kent City, and then Kent City having that dominant regular season, and then Grant coming in, sweeping the championship right there. This was a season in soccer that was very talented as well as football. Very good games all across. You mentioned the ties. This was tight conference.
Absolutely. Let's take a look now at the CSAA Blue, and this would be all of the white and the red 4 teams that are able to field the team. Quite a few names overall here, Jack. Any of them that caught your eye from what you saw individually this year?
A couple of those freshmen from Kent City, we talked about it on the preview show for soccer at the beginning of the summer, or the end of the summer, I should say. And they had a lot of returning guys. They had a lot of seniors coming. But then they bring in these new freshman group, and that's going to be something to watch next year is how do these freshmen take over for the seniors that left really a legacy at Kent City.
Absolutely. It was a great season for the Eagles, great season for the Tigers as well. They're going to be one to watch next year. And for Big Rapids, especially with a coach filling in halfway through the year, very nice job in the second half of the year. And we can't wait to see what that's going to be in store. Let's take a look now at volleyball. We'll start in the CSAA-Red. Newaygo and Reed City splitting that conference crown in the regular season, both 8-2, Grant right behind in 7-3. Very entertaining matchups all year long. A lot of splits at the top of the tables. Tri-County, Chip Hills, and Big Rapids following in respective order. But really, hats off. We knew both those M37 teams. We knew Reed City had the potential, and Coach Patterson's team not only proved it, but they also won a district title this year.
Very great, very historic season. It's exciting to see that from the Reed City Coyotes.
Absolutely. We'll take a look now at our CSAA Red first teamers. And Jack, I'll cue it over to you. I know this was certainly, we knew the M37 teams would be good, Reed City, but as well, we saw some scrappy fight as well from teams with new coaches, new coaching staffs this year, including Tri-County with a couple representatives on these lists.
Yeah, 100% very intriguing, but something that caught my eye from that list is Newaygo. Their 3 honorees were all juniors. That's going to be something to watch going into next season in their senior campaigns.
Good call, partner. Let's flip over now to the CSAA White. We knew it was a 2-horse race, and it certainly proved to be. Kent City and Morley Stanwood. Both these teams also advanced to the finals, I believe, of the CSAA tournament. Very, very competitive year this year. Both of them split the regular season, but overall, really impressive. Central Montcalm looked like they were making strides forward, just consistency, right? White Cloud obviously lost a lot last year. We talked about that in the summer, and then Lakeview as well, scrapping together anything that they could with that talent on the floor and certainly prove that non-conference play. But overall, seemed like a really good year in the CSA White once again. And it's really unfortunately become an issue of, man, Kent City and Morley Stanwood have built some powerhouse programs. And unfortunately, with what they're returning for both those teams, we might be talking about a 2-horse race once again.
Exactly. Couldn't have said it better. This was a great 2-horse race to watch all season long. And for these teams to go 7-1 in conference and tie for that first place in the regular season was really exciting to watch all season long. And you hit it. It might just be the exact same thing next year.
We'll see if the other teams have anything to say about it. And there are some youngsters on these lists. Let's take a look at the CSAA White first teamers.
Yeah, something I really picked up on was from this Mohawk team is there's 3 out of their 5 honorees were also juniors. And the same thing happened in the CSAA Red. This is going to be another talented Mohawk team. It's going to be exciting what they can do next year.
Absolutely should be a very entertaining season. Congrats to all of our first teamers and honorable mentions as now we will move over into cross country. Very entertaining season overall. Very, very impressed with what we saw, especially at the top of the tables this year in overall standings. In the girls division first, Chip Hills taking down Reed City and Tri-County. Once again, Coach Hatfield's crew continues to do a great job. Young talent stepping up early on in the season, continue to ride that into the postseason. Very, very impressive. But as an alum myself, Reed City, very impressive this season, making strides forward. And for Tri-County, a lot of young stars as well on their crew. It'll be fun to watch. First teamers this season. A lot of names in there, Jack, for Chippewa Hills. A lot of young talent. Coach Hatfield, he's got a lot to look forward to this next year after winning another conference crown.
Yeah, 100% hats off to that group. And really, it's really been the story of this episode, talking about the two-horse race. It feels like that's the only thing the CSAA has, but Tri-County had a very sneaky good season, but it was great to see the Warriors and the Coyotes have a dominant season.
Absolutely. And watch out for Tri-County. A lot of sneaky names in that middle school reign coming up this next year that might make some noise. Let's flip over to the CSAA-Red boys. Tri-County, speaking of which, Coach Rackley's team gets the conference championship this year. Reed City in the runner-up spot as well, and the boys in second. Big Rapids for the Cardinals there in third. CSAA all-conference first teamers. And Jack, I think especially you heard a lot of sophomores for Reed City. A lot of ears perk up for what the Coyotes might have in store and Coach Salad in this next upcoming year.
You got that right. This is a very young and talented conference, not just the senior domination where we've seen pretty much almost on all the other sports. We've seen a lot of seniors dominate. It's nice to see the juniors and then the sophomores really come in to play, and they have really ran well in the CSAA-Red. It was exciting to watch this season.
Absolutely. A handful of jamborees, and they've proved, all of these teams, Tri-County, Big Rapids, and Reed City, that they can be very good. And obviously, it's a war of attrition at the end of the day, knowing that's what hurt Big Rapids a little bit. So they'll be a team to watch next year as well. Let's flip over to the CSAA-White. Central Montcalm, dominant season, almost perfect score in the CSAA championship race. Kent City in second, Lakeview in third. Let's go through your first team honorees for the championship race. Overall thoughts, Jack, on the CSAA-White?
I mean, it's just domination from the Hornets. 6 of the top 9 racers coming from that Hornets. Central Montcalm built a dominant dynasty this year, and they look to build on that next year.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at the CSAA-White. Looking at the girls' side, Kent City gets the conference championship this year, edging out the Hornets in the number 2 spot, and then Lakeview rounding out the top 3. First teamers, and Jack, it's a little bit scary if you're not an Eagles fan. You got 2 sophomores in the top 3, but Lakeview has now shown that they can prove depth earlier on. Cameron Soliday's been a first teamer the last couple of years, and now Slezak in the mix as well. And Central Montcalm, I mean, they're doing a lot of things right, and so they're going to bring some definite great recruiting classes up from the middle school ranks to compete as well.
Yeah, 100%. There's only 4 seniors on this list. This is going to be an incredible year next year, not only just having a big year this year. This is something to build on. All these teams have something to look forward to next year with there only being the 4 seniors on this list.
Absolutely. It should be some shakeups indeed in order, and we can't wait to see how that race shakes out. Let's take a look at girls golf here as we round out our fall sports listing here, all of our all-conference honorees. Your overall team results from the Blue Division Finals this year. Big Rapids with a dominant win. Coach Posey done a fantastic job with that Cardinal program. Chippewa Hills and Reed City both making strides, second and third. Grant as well as Lakeview in the 4 and 5 slots there, followed by Newaygo, Kent City, Tri-County, and Central Montcalm. And Jack, it's pretty much, this is the phrase it's going to be. Can anybody catch the Cardinals with what they continue to pump out year after year with great performances in the CSA championships and even into the regional and state finals?
Coach Posey's building a dynasty. This isn't just a 3-year dynasty, a 5-year dynasty. This has been going on for as long as I've been alive. This has been a dynasty that he's built on the boys and girls side of golf. And you said it, there's a target on their back, but year after year, they managed to continuously win.
Absolutely. Some teams to maybe watch out for. I'm keeping an eye on the Grant Tigers. They had a couple of honorable mentions this year with Brummel and Engelhard. See if they can make some strides into that first team list and push down some of those points for those other teams. Be interesting to watch, as well as maybe we see another team from the bottom half going up to try to fight for medal position this year. A lot of experience can come over 1 year in the game of golf. Let's finish up with some discussions on boys tennis. Congratulations to Big Rapids on a great season. I mean, Carson Coles school record holder in wins. We saw a couple guys as well in pairings going to the state quarterfinals. I think it was just really impressive overall. And Jack, obviously, you have class with a lot of those guys. I had really had to have been really cool to see their success over the year. I mean, looking at some of those guys, right? LaCours as well as Wilhelm playing really well together. Those doubles pairings continuing to prove year after year. And the singles play as well was fantastic across the board. A lot of guys making it to the state finals.
Yeah, you got that right. But another thing too is hanging out with these guys and Coach Coles himself talking to him all the time. This is a guy this isn't just a team. This is a brotherhood. He has built a community within the tennis facilities and really brought this team from not just teammates to true friends and brothers. This has been really a great thing to see on the outside of how well this team really pairs together. And talk about Coach Posey with how great of a team he has over there on the girls and boys golf. Coach Coles, another great coach over there, coach of the boys tennis team.
Absolutely. Another fantastic season, top 10 in the state for that Cardinal team, as well as great results in both the regional and state finals. So congratulations to the Cardinals on a great season. And that will do it for us here on the Rundown, our fall sports recap. Big thanks goes out to rivalsmi.com. You can get your local sports merchandise there, rivalsmi.com this holiday season. Makes a good stocking stuffer as well. Dazos Digital, target your target audience with the experts at dazosdigital.com. That'll do it for Jack and I. We'll bring you back with some basketball action. It's already underway, Jack. We haven't even gotten through fall yet, but somehow we have the excuse to start winter sports. So we'll have our calls for basketball. We'll be covering obviously that as well as wrestling, maybe some indoor track and bowling along the way. Should be a great upcoming season for the Rundown this winter.
You got that right. Excited for these hoops, wrestling, maybe even a little hockey. Cardinal hockey team playing pretty solid right now. Should be exciting to watch this winter season.
You got that right. Cardinals and Coach Blashill already above 500 to start the year, so we'll be following them as well. As be sure, if you want to follow along with us, be sure to subscribe. Big Rapids Daily News on YouTube for more information, and we'll talk to you next time here on The Rundown on Big Rapids Daily News.